All right, so welcome everyone. We're kicking off our very first deep dive
Yeah.
into the incredible world of Western philosophy.
Buckle up.
It's going to be a long one, guys.
It's going to be a wild ride.
61 parts. But hey, we're starting strong, right?
Yeah.
With one of the biggest names in the game,
Oh, absolutely.
Plato.
You can't get much bigger than Plato.
Thousands of years later, and we're still talking about his ideas.
It's still relevant, too.
Exactly. It's like, how can we truly know anything?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, am I just imagining all of this right now?
Maybe. But that's what Plato was wrestling with, that question of knowledge and perception.
And that's what we're going to dive into, right?
Head first into the Phaedo dialogue.
Ooh, Phaedo. Fancy.
It's a good one.
It's like eavesdropping on history's greatest thinkers, right?
Exactly. And we've got another great thinker as our guide, Bertrand Russell.
You know, from his History of Western Philosophy, right?
That's the one. He really helps us understand, like, the bigger picture.
He puts things into perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we've got Plato, we've got Russell. Let's set the stage a little bit before we get to, like, the big stuff, the theory of forms, all of that.
Right. Context is key.
We need to go back in time to, like, 5th century BC Athens.
Oh, that's a fascinating time and place.
It was like the Wild West of philosophy, right?
Totally. Think of it like all these new ideas bubbling up, traditional beliefs being
A
challenged.
lot of political turmoil, too.
War, plagues.
Oh, yeah. Can't forget those plagues.
Russell really paints a vivid picture of this era.
And this is where Socrates comes in, right? Plato's mentor,
The big guy.
the OG gadfly.
Asking all those tough questions, stirring up trouble.
Yeah, which didn't exactly make him popular, did it?
Nope. And, well, we know what happened to Socrates, don't we?
Put on trial, executed,
Yeah, for corrupting the youth and impiety.
which had a huge impact on Plato, right? I mean, imagine seeing your mentor, your friend, killed for his ideas.
Yeah, talk about disillusioning.
It really shaped the direction of Plato's thinking.
Absolutely. He became kind of obsessed with finding something permanent, something that transcended all the chaos and uncertainty of the physical world.
Something beyond all this messy stuff.
Exactly. And that's where the theory of forms comes in. But we'll talk about that more next time.
Ooh, cliffhanger. Can't wait to dive into that.
It's going to be good.
So stay tuned, everyone. We're just getting started on this epic philosophical journey.
61 parts to go. All right, so picking up where we left off,
Right back into the philosophical fray.
deep into the mind of Plato.
You know, it's funny. I used to think the theory of forms was like this super abstract idea.
Yeah.
Like, who cares about perfect circles in some other dimension?
Right. It can seem a bit out there.
But now, I've been talking about Socrates, all the chaos of Athens.
It starts to make sense, right?
Yeah, like Plato was searching for something stable
Something real.
in a world that felt anything but.
Exactly. And the soul plays a big part in all of this.
Oh, yeah, we were getting to that.
Right. Remember, the soul is what allows us to connect with the forms.
And those arguments for the soul's immortality.
Oh, they're fascinating, especially in the context of the Phaedo,
Right. Socrates is literally facing death.
about to drink the hemlock.
And he's calmly laying out these arguments.
No big deal.
Classic Socrates.
So there are three main arguments, right? The argument from opposites, the argument from simplicity, and the argument from recollection.
Okay, let's unpack those one by one.
Sounds good. Which one do you want to tackle first?
Let's start with opposites, because that one always kind of tripped me up.
Yeah, it's a bit mind-bendy.
So everything comes from its opposite,
Right. So life comes from death. Death comes from life.
like a cosmic seesaw.
Kind of. It's this cycle, this back and forth.
But hold on, if we're just going back and forth, what's the point?
Right. And that's where the soul comes in. For Plato, the soul isn't just this thing that's born and dies with the body.
It's something more.
It's eternal. It exists before and after our physical lives.
Whoa, so the soul is like the constant in this equation.
Exactly. And this ties into the argument from simplicity.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
So the soul is simple, unchanging.
Unlike the body, which is messy and, well, decays.
Precisely. The body is complex, divisible. The soul is like this pure, indivisible essence.
So the soul can't be broken down. It's like indestructible.
Exactly. It can't be harmed by the physical world.
Okay, that's a pretty comforting thought.
And then we have the argument from recollection.
This one always sounded the most mystical to me.
It's definitely trippy.
So what is it, like remembering past lives or something?
Not quite, but it does involve a kind of remembering.
Okay, I'm listening.
So we have all this innate knowledge, right? Like about equality, justice, beauty.
Yeah, like we have a sense of those concepts even if we've never perfectly experienced them.
Exactly. And for Plato, this means that our souls must have existed before our physical birth.
So, like, we learned about these concepts in some other realm.
Exactly, in the realm of the forms, and what we call learning is actually just the soul remembering what it already knew.
Wow, that's kind of mind-blowing.
Right, it's like all those aha moments, those flashes of insight.
Those are our souls remembering the truth.
Precisely. So Plato has given us some pretty good reasons to believe in the soul and its connection to the forms.
Okay, I'm starting to buy it, but what about our senses? I mean, if we can't trust our senses, how do we even function in the world?
Right. That's a big question, and one that Plato tackled head-on with his famous allegory of the cave.
Oh yeah, the cave.
It's a powerful image.
I remember learning about it, but it's been a while.
So imagine these prisoners, right?
Trapped in a cave.
Yeah, chained up, facing a blank wall.
Okay, this is already giving me the creeps.
Behind them there's a fire, and people are walking around carrying objects and puppets.
But the prisoners can't see any of that.
All they see are the shadows projected onto the wall.
So their whole reality is just shadows.
Exactly. They think the shadows are real things.
But it's all an illusion.
Right. And that's Plato's point. Our senses can deceive us. We can mistake a limited, distorted version of reality for the truth.
So the prisoners are like us, stuck in this cave of sensory perception.
Exactly. And we need to find a way to break free.
But how do we do that?
Well, in the allegory, one prisoner manages to escape.
He sees the light.
Literally. He steps out into the sunlight, and at first it's blinding.
Like overwhelming.
But then his eyes adjust, and he sees the real world.
The sun, the sky, the trees, the whole shebang.
And this, for Plato, is what philosophy is all about.
It's about escaping the cave of our limited perceptions.
And seeing the world as it truly is.
So it's about questioning everything we see and hear.
Exactly. It's about cultivating a critical mind, seeking out knowledge that goes beyond the surface.
Especially in today's world, right?
Okay.
With all the information overload, social media, fake news.
Yeah, it's more important than ever to be able to think for ourselves.
To discern what's real from what's just a shadow.
Precisely. And that's one of the most valuable lessons we can take from Plato.
Okay, so Plato has given us a lot to think about.
He's definitely challenged our assumptions.
But what about Bertrand Russell? He had some thoughts on all of this too, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, Russell admired Plato's brilliance.
But he was also a man of science.
Exactly. And he questioned some of Plato's methods.
Like starting with assumptions instead of observation.
Right. Russell was all about the empirical evidence.
So it's like two different ways of knowing, two different approaches to truth.
And that's what makes this so fascinating, right? We appreciate the brilliance of Plato's ideas while also recognizing the limitations of his approach.
And that's what this whole deep dive is about, exploring these different perspectives, seeing how they connect, how they clash.
It's a journey.
And we're not done yet. We still need to talk about Plato's view of mathematics.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
The whole God is a geometer thing.
That's next time. We'll dive into that and see how it all fits into Plato's grand vision.
Can't wait. Stay tuned, everyone. Okay, so back to Plato and his love of math.
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise, isn't it?
I mean, when you think of philosophy, you don't usually think of, like, equations and theorems.
Right. It's not exactly the most exciting image, but for Plato, math was like a key to understanding the universe.
Really? So it's not just about, like, balancing your checkbook or building bridges.
Well, those are important too, but for Plato, math was about something much deeper. It was a way to glimpse the eternal, unchanging truths of the forms.
So, like, those perfect triangles and circles we talked about.
Exactly. In the physical world, everything's always changing, decaying, but math is pure, it's timeless.
So by studying math, you could get closer to understanding the forms.
Yeah, that was the idea, was like a bridge between the messy, imperfect world we experience and the perfect, unchanging world of the forms.
I see. So math was like a spiritual practice almost.
In a way, yes. It was about elevating the soul, about connecting with something bigger than ourselves.
And this is where the whole God is a geometer thing comes in, right?
Exactly. It's like the universe is structured according to mathematical principles, and those principles are like a reflection of the divine mind.
So for Plato, math was like a glimpse into the mind of God.
You could say that, yeah, it was a way to understand the blueprint of creation.
Wow. That's pretty heavy stuff.
It is. And it's had a huge impact on Western thought. Even today, you see this idea that the universe is fundamentally mathematical.
Like in physics. But all those theories about the laws of nature.
Exactly. Scientists are still searching for that elegant mathematical explanation for everything.
It's like they're following in Plato's footsteps, trying to unlock the secrets of the cosmos.
And that's what makes studying philosophy so fascinating, right? You see these ancient ideas echoing through history, influencing how we think about the world, even today.
It's like a conversation that's been going on for thousands of years.
And we're all part of it now, adding our own voices, our own perspectives.
And sometimes those old ideas still have something to teach us.
Definitely. Like Plato's emphasis on critical thinking, on questioning our assumptions.
That's more relevant than ever in today's world, right?
Absolutely. With all the information overload, the propaganda, the spin.
We need to be able to think for ourselves, to separate truth from falsehood,
And that's what Plato was all about, challenging us to think critically, to seek out the truth.
to escape the cave of our own limited perceptions.
Exactly. And that's a journey that never really ends.
Well, it's been an amazing journey exploring the world of Plato, his ideas about knowledge, the soul, the forms.
It's been a wild ride.
And while some of his theories might seem a bit outdated, his emphasis on reason, on the pursuit of truth.
That's something that will always be relevant.
And that's what we're hoping to do with this deep dive, to explore these big ideas, to see how they've shaped our world, and to challenge ourselves to think differently.
And this is just the beginning, folks. 60 more parts to go.
We're just getting warmed up. Next time, we're moving on to Aristotle.
Plato's student, another giant of philosophy.
This is going to be epic, so stay tuned.